We just had a firmware update for the DJI Flip. Let's take a look. The Flip has been a pretty controversial drone for DJI. It is one of those products that people have a lot of questions about, including me. However, we got a mysterious update, a firmware update that just basically says fixed some known issues or corrected some known issues, something like that. Well, what does that mean? We don't know. I've got the DJI RC N3 and my iPhone and the drone. Let's just take off and we'll go through the app and see if we can, the Fly app, and see if we can see any changes in there. I'll fly the drone around a little bit and see if we see any changes in the way it flies, etc. But honestly, we'll probably never know what DJI changed. So let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. Okay, I've got a screen recorder started, and you can see the drone is reporting ready to go. So let's take a look. Let's go into that safety menu real quick. And yeah, we've got braking on obstacle avoidance. 30-meter return to home. I don't know, I'll crank that up another 5 meters. And then it's not asking for any calibrations, as you can see here. Battery info, yeah, you can see the battery looks good. So we're about done there. I'll go on the About page real quick and show you the firmware number there. So you can see the firmware number and the app number if you've got any questions about that. So I don't see any reason why we can't take off. You know, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to crank it down to just 30 frames per second. And let's just see how this guy flies. So let's start recording now. And I'm going to turn the camera around so you guys can see the drone. I hear a helicopter up high, but he is way higher than we are. Let's start recording. And let's do an auto takeoff on the app. Take off. And that's telling me geozone nearby, which is interesting. So what there's the flight path towards the Boise airport, and there's a 190-meter limit. Well, max legal is 120 meters. It just cracks me up why DJI even puts stuff like that on your screen, but they do. So that's that. So you can see where I'm sitting here. I've done some videos here before at this particular little spot, little picnic table here. Let's drop the camera down and let's just do a droney. So I always forget with the RCN3 controller, it's a little bit different. I kind of like to pinch when I do stuff like this. So you know, this would be when it would pay to probably have some kind of a neck strap or something. But reverse and up. Let's go. Reverse and up now. Hit hard on that up stick. You know what? Maybe it's just me, but it feels more responsive than the last time I flew it with the controller. Let's just back it up out over the pond here. And let's just fly it around a little bit. You know what? I think they picked up the speed on this guy. So we're in normal mode, full reverse at 7. We're at over 7 meters per second there. So let's just fly it around a little bit. Let's, sorry about that quick yaw there. Let's just go out here a ways and fly this guy around. And you know what? It's moving right along. Let's see. Let's go straight out this way over the other pond. Yeah, I'm over 7 meters per second. And it's a crisp, cold day here. Hopefully I put UAV forecast already up on the screen. It's in the mid-30s here today, so it's fairly cool. But as you can see, we got some sunshine, which makes it a lot more pleasant. I can tell you, now the last time I flew it with the controller, it was probably a windier day. I was over here. In fact, we're kind of in the area where I was sitting at. I was over here on this little picnic table right down here. I'm going to go right over the top of it, right on the edge of that sidewalk there by the sculpture. I was sitting there when I flew it. That was my first flight with the drone. I can tell you, it definitely feels better. There's no question in my mind. Let's go ahead and throw it into sport mode, and let's see how quick it'll come back to us. So sport mode, and obviously it turns off obstacle avoidance. I'm heading straight back to the pond here. Not quite straight back to me, but we can do that. We're going to bypass the pond. I'm going to bring it straight back over the top at me, and we're 12 meters per second right now. So that's, I'm telling you, I think they got this thing where it's pitching over a lot harder. Yeah, that's pretty wild. I'm going to go right over the top of me, and then we'll turn around and come back the other direction. And it is a noisy little drone, I can tell you that. And it is indeed pitched over. Let's turn it around here. I mean, you're going to attract attention with this one. I'm going to tell you that, because it definitely makes more noise than your Mini or something. So I'm going to kind of go to the side of me. We're in sport mode again. I'm going to go full stick forward, and I want to look at the drone as it comes over the top and see if I can tell you how far pitched over it is. Yeah, it's pitched right over. So they definitely did something with this guy. It's tilting into its speed a little better. So that's a good thing. Okay, so let's drop it down here, and maybe we can zero in on one of the fountains here. Let me put it back into normal mode, and maybe we can do a quick shot or something like that. So I'll need to stop recording, and let's go into, well shoot, well this thing will do a master shot? I didn't know that. Okay, so let's, and it's even giving me a little plus on the fountain. I'm going to draw a box around the fountain. Obstacle sensing unavailable. Well, I think we're high enough. So let's go ahead and start a quick shot. Estimated flight time 2 minutes, and it's on medium for everything, so that's good. Okay, let's go ahead and start a quick shot and see how it does. And it's adjusting aircraft position. You know what? I got to be honest with you. Excuse me, I said a quick shot. I meant to say a master shot. So it's doing a droney here. Wow, that's something that I didn't know that this thing would do. But it's and I see it pulled up the map, so we'll be able to see the flight path. And now it's going to do a circle. And again, it'll take it 2 minutes to finish the whole thing. So hey, we get to look at a master shot. Pitch up and fly forward, so you can see where it's at there by the edge of the pond. That picnic table you see down there, I sit on that once in a while when I'm flying a drone. But that looks pretty darn good. Yeah, now it's circle close, and all it's doing there is it's zooming in. So it's punching in on that sensor is what it's doing, cropping in. So it's not exactly, you know, the drone isn't getting any closer, and it doesn't have normal optical zoom. It just has a digital zoom. So now a circle medium, we're about 50% of the way through. Yeah, this is going to look pretty good. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do is when I'm not going to do it right this second, but when I get home, I will put together one of DJI's videos where it will automatically take your master shot and edit it into a little video for you. And I'll show you that soon after we land the drone. I'll put that up so you can see what it does. But as far as the other thing that I want to check is, as soon as it's done with this master shot, we're going to do a return to home. And I want to see how the drone handles return to home. The first time I flew it, it was really weird on return to home. Straight up and descend, we're almost done here. And it's dropping down. It's 60-some meters high here, so it's dropping straight down. I don't know if it'll get back to exactly where now 100% it's done. And so it finished at 47 meters high, and I think we were 29 meters high when it started. So it's kind of moving back into the position where it was when we started. So very good. So okay, let's get out of there and see. I'm going to go through the app here real quick and see if we see anything new. I don't see anything new in the quick shots. Hyperlapse, I don't see anything new there. And the panels, this is all stuff we're going to have to try out at some point. I don't think this is the video where I'm going to try all that stuff out, but we will, so that, you know, this thing's full featured. I forget about all the features that this drone has. So let's go back to video. Again, we're going to shoot in 4K 30. I'm going to move it out here a little bit further. Drop that camera back down a little bit. And then we're going to do return to home on the controller here, and let's see how well it gets back to us. And we got that augmented reality green line that came up, and it's coming back to us at a pretty good little clip, about 8 meters per second. That's top speed normal mode. I can tell you the drone, you know, like I said, the first time I flew it, it felt a little sluggish, and I can confidently say that, it's definitely a lot more athletic is the word I like to use. It's more responsive. So as it gets over here, I want to see if it'll drop down if it'll drop the camera by itself, if it'll look down. You can see we're at the end of the green line, and it did. Okay, so it's looking down. You know what? It's not going to get a precision landing, but I'm comfortable where it's going to hit there. So you can see the drone shadow now. And it makes some noise. So we're looking into the sun, but hopefully you can see the drone here. And it's looking right at that post, but coming on down here, and there we are. So 2 improvements that I saw there. Well, let's talk about that in a minute. Let me get it all shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. Hey, okay, the DJI Flip, I can tell you, I flew this out at the Snake River Canyon the other day, and you already saw my first flight with it. It definitely flies better now. There's very little wind today, so that could have made a difference. But I can tell you that it was way more responsive than what it was the last couple times that I flew it with the RC-N3 controller. So I really think that DJI must have refined the flight controls, which is welcome. It flies way more like the Mini 3 Standard or the Mini 4 Pro. Not quite that fast, but it's getting there. And also, the other point that I'll make is it's noisier. So as I was flying it over here, heck, if you'd have had the Mini 4 Pro or something, it would have been a lot quieter. But that's not what we're talking about today. What did we see changes-wise with that firmware update? The other thing that I noticed is the first time I did a return to home with it on my first flight, the drone would pitch forward and then stop, pitch forward and stop. And I saw some anomalies on the obstacle avoidance on the front as well. It'd be up in the air and it was seeing things that weren't there. So I think those are things that they probably improved upon, and that's probably part of that firmware update. So anyway, I guess that's about it. I hope you found this useful. This is Marcus with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I really appreciate that you took the time to watch this video today. And yes, we'll see you on the next one.